Not that I've spent a lot of money in the transfer market. I've not spent any money in the transfer market. In fact, this club has not been involved in money in the transfer market at all since season 1, in or out. I'd forgotten how much fun non-contracts can be, though. There have been some signings. Just a couple. What? Just a couple, honest. Hello, my name's Damien, I'm that Track and Foot Manager, and welcome back to Glacis United for the start of Season 10. Have we made enough progress for us to be 10 seasons into this thing? Well, you know, we're starting with the second club to elevate into godhood. The first one we didn't elevate all that far, if we're being honest, but we elevated them a bit. The biggest problem we've been having, and it's a weird big problem to have, signing-wise, is our big rivals are Europa and Lincoln, who are pretty much the only two good teams in this country. So we've really struggled to sign anyone from Europa or Lincoln, even their youngsters, because they're like, oh, well, you're our rival, so we want 10 grand. We don't have 10 grand. I mean, we could probably arrange 10 grand, but I don't want to spend that. Especially not for a youngster who might well not make it. But don't worry, that hasn't stopped me. First things first, for staff, we have pretty much filled the books. We need a new goalkeeping coach or fitness coach. I forget which. A goalkeeping coach, I think. Yes, we're working on a goalkeeping coach. But as you can see, obviously these are never going to be as high as the highest. But we're doing okay with these numbers. We've got too many physios, apparently. It says one of two. No, we need another physio. We need another scout. We're working on it. The scouts in particular have been turgid. Leone Seatori, apologies if you're watching, mate, but you're not a very good scout. And the chief scout isn't a lot better. He's slightly more adaptable, that's it. So, scout-wise, we've struggled a bit. Player-wise, yeah, just a couple. Just a couple here and there. As you can see, as I was mentioning, £2,000 for Marcus Zappacosta in 2022 is the only money this club has ever been involved in. Which is interesting in its own right. Nothing happened at the end of last year, except we released a few. Jaden Parody's gone on to retire. Dylan Peacock, I seem to remember that name. Oh, he's gone to the Hound Dogs. I feel like, do we all have him somewhere? No, maybe not. Maybe he's played for the national team? I don't know. I know the name though. Not the national team either. No idea. Dan Lawton and J. Ron Gilbert are also gone. No big losses. And they, in fact, went out at the end of May. Then Jamie Brunt, Liam Neal, Kevin Poggio, Nicholas Pereira, and Hatim Smith were all released off their non-contract contracts just recently. I'm not saying I got carried away in terms of signing players, but there was a point, because I never, as you know, ignore that list. I never, as you know, not you never as I know. I never, as you know, it's going to be good, isn't it? It's not. Pick a team for a friendly. I leave the friendlies to the assistant, and I never pick the team, so the assistant can put whoever he wants in, who he thinks needs the experience, needs the fitness, whatever. So I leave the entire squad unavailable, and I also make them all then available for the under-23s, because obviously they start competitive football much earlier than we do, so they can go play for them, that's fine. And there came a point when I realised I might have gone slightly over the top. I'd put all of the under-23s in with the first team, so I could, and that's the only two squads we've got. So I had literally every player we owned in the first team, and it said, would you like to make these 73 players available for the reserves? So I might be going a bit over the top here. Just a little bit. So I did a bit of weeding, and that's why I got rid of like those 5. It makes a difference. It makes a big difference, it does. We're in a position where, unfortunately, the players that we've got are not massively better than the... They're all very similar players in terms of ability. They've all got a skill or 2 skills. And quite often they're different skills, but they balance out to be more or less the same skill of player. So if we look down, especially in terms of I will get to it. Don't worry. Where's the button? There we go. Reports. Lots and lots and lots and lots of 2-star players, and lots of players with potential. Yeah, there's a few. These guys are not contracted. I might get rid of them. The only reason I didn't get rid of Borelli yet is because I miss Borelli. Was fun. But there's a lot of non-contract players who might well go. We're still massively under the wage budget. Still, what's that? Nearly $2,000 under the wage budget. Still 22 grand in the bank. No idea what we're going to spend that on. Anyway, back to the staff. The staff? Well, I suppose it is staff. The playing staff. None arrived last season. So, we started off getting some loans in. Harry Johnson from Europa. This might be an error. He's a good striker by the standards that we're used to. But I remember this guy fell out with me at Europa because I didn't put him in the Europa League squad. He's not that good, simple as that. But I think he only played one time for Europa. Oh no, he didn't play at all for Europa. He just played for the reserves here though, so that's good news. Oh no, there you go. One appearance for Europa. Tell a lie. And he did score on that appearance, so fair enough. A reasonable option. Joe Hobbs, also from Europa, is a left back come centre half. He is a centre half. Again, the problem we've got is that here it's telling me about his National League ability, and here it's telling me about his club ability. Not very good in the air. I think he might be more of a left back. He's a covered defender, basically. He's 17 years old. He's got a chance of developing a bit more. Again, from Europa, never played for either side at Europa, which is slightly worrying. I'm going to have to speed this up a bit. George James is a striker from college. Finishing and composure, excellent. Physicals, not so much. Also, super aggressive, so we might have our new Jake G. He's got the same initials, just the other way around. He's played once for the college reserves. He's played once for our reserves, but he did score. This was in the oh hell, we must get players in phase of the transfer window. George James, I just did him. Peter Cabazzetto was the College 75 first team goalkeeper. I don't really know how, because he's not that good. But he was free, so, never mind. We're paying him nothing. He's an emergency backup. He's one of our goalkeepers. We've got a few at this point. But College 75 played him in the first team quite a lot of times, as I remember. I'm sure I've seen him against us. Yeah, there you go. He played full season last year. And you got him into Europe, so can't be that bad. Evan Busto is a centre mid even, not centre half. Passing's okay. I mean, it's difficult. It's really difficult for me to go, oh yeah, this guy's really good. Because next to Europa players, he's really not. But actually, this one's not bad. He's been around Rotherham United, weirdly, and then Montcalpe and the Magpies. But he's been playing, again, in the National League. Tom Lucas, free striker, finishing composure both good, physical's not great. Again, he's determined-ish. But 9s and 10s, it turns out at this level, are good numbers. So, that's another one in. I am flicking through these as fast as I can. Charlie Evans, right back, no, because he's not fast enough. Centre half, kind of. Again, not paying him a wage. He can always go in the bin if we need to. Not a problem. Mel Bailey, right winger, kind of. He's 19. His physicals are up there, but his technicals are not. But he's from Man 62. He's played a couple of times for our reserves. He looked okay. John Morton, and I realise it's going to take a long time to get our heads around who these people actually are. John Morton, the centre half. Heading and marking are both not really good enough to be a centre half, if we're being honest. But again, he's on a $5 a week as a breakthrough prospect. He's from Lincoln. That makes him magnificent, right? This is, I'm afraid, going to be the theme. There's all much of a muchness. There's no one super spectacular. There's a couple of better players coming through here. No one spectacular is coming through here. Matthew Unsworth, who's apparently a 5-star potential player. He's 22 with a determination of 8. He's definitely not a 5-star anything. But physically, not bad. Teamwork's good, tackling's good, work rate's good, marking's good. He might make a player. Again, not paying him a wage. Who cares if he doesn't? Lewis Ralph. Physicals are dreadful. Absolutely awful. But this one, first touch is good, passing, technique, teamwork, vision, all good. Deep line playmaker, don't need physicals. Well, a bit of strength would be nice, but, St. Joseph's boy, again, been playing in St. Joseph's reserves. That's about it. He's had a few appearances in the first team. They obviously tried to make a player out of him. I think we've just got coaches that are hopelessly ambitious about how much a player is going to improve. This one, Dominic Hawkins, attacking midfield centre. I mean, midfield centre, yeah, sure. Striker, probably not. Possibly a false nine. Passing, first touch technique, brilliant. Physicals, again, nines will do at this level. Nines and tens all around there. This is a 4-star player in this club. It's not good. It's really not good. We've got work to do. Lynx boy, and he's been playing full season internationally for Lynx. Lynx are regularly finishing bottom of said league, so it's not amazing, but it'll do. Jordan Hopper, I believe, is a youngster we had at Hound Dogs once upon a time. Better, again. Marking good, tackling good, physicals good. Lots of good. The mentals are actually pretty solid. He's come... Oh, it was college, sorry, not Hound Dogs. College, we had him for years. He never quite made the cut. We did play him a few times. I mean, we'd have left by then. I think it was down here. We were playing him a bit. He went to Lynx, played full seasons, but again, they finished bottom a lot. So let's not get excited by that. Paul Lay, holding midfielder, kind of. This one might be a mistake. Future prospect, £5 a week for a year. You know, I mean, I will pay, what's that, 250 quid to see if this guy works out. We've got the money. We're not going to spend it on anything else. Chris Hanna, I believe, was one of the really weak options. Physicals, shot. Absolutely hopeless. Technicals, not good. Mentals, not great either. This one's probably a mistake. But again, no money at all. That's why, and again, I'm sure people are already typing into the box saying, this lot are hopeless, what are you thinking about? But actually, who cares? Bring them in, throw enough at the wall and something's going to stick. And that's... with the scouting team I've got, and with the coaching I've got, and in fact with the existing players I've got, throw it all against the wall and hope something sticks is the best strategy I've got. Physicals on this lad, Kai Redgrave, very, very solid. Mentals, technicals, ugh. That's my sum up. Here's a Colchester United boy, played for Oxford City, Whitehawk, and Mangotsfield United. If you've never heard of them, there's a reason for that. They're actually my local club. The nearest club to where I live, Mangotsfield United. In the Southern League Division 1 South, maybe? I've been to see him a couple of times. And if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Jack Wells Morrison is the last. This is the final bright light at the end of the tunnel. Physicals getting there, technicals getting there, mentals getting there. Yes, I know he's 26 with a determination of 3. But, you know, there might be a player in there. Crystal Palace boy who then played 2 seasons at Bath City, who also quite a local team. Yeah, that's the signings. That's 12.5 minutes of your life you're never going to get back. I've got nothing more to say to you than that. I've got a team, and like I say, I've also got a huge unselected pool, which I will slowly weed down as time goes on. I don't want to assume that anyone's not good enough until I've had a chance to see him play, because we've had it before at this level of football where you will randomly find a 2-star player or even a 1.5-star player, and when you put them in, they're actually quite good. And it's just that either the assistant doesn't rate them or the ratings are just shot. As you can see, of all those signings, 4 of them are currently unnumbered and going to make it into the first team squad. So then it's not an amazing transfer window by any stretch. But if 4 players improve this side, then the side has improved. And last season they finished in the bottom half. So let's see if we can win the bottom half. That's the objective for this season. Win the bottom half, claw in the £500,000 or whatever it is nowadays, and see what happens from there. What the board want, and they're already grumpy with me because I haven't signed a lot of under-23s. I've signed a fair few under-23s, if we're being honest. Work within the wage budget. Avoid bottom. That's the job. Don't finish last. Don't absolutely poo the bed. We can try. Quarterfinal of the Rock Cup, maybe. On the subject of cups, if we pop back, what's the quickest way to get there? If we pop back to Europa, Europa did qualify for a group stage. They made an effort about it. They were knocked out of the Champions League Champions path by DAC Dunajska Streda of Slovakia. Beaten on pens by them, so fell straight into the Europa League Conference League Championship. Trefiori, I know there's someone in the comments who will appreciate that reference. San Marino's Trefiori, beaten 4-0 and 2-0 to go through second round. Pristina of Kosovo, No idea. They beat them 4-0 and 2-0. Notice that they are now playing in the new stadium. I'm assuming it must be a registration thing that stopped it last year. It must be that maybe the European season had started, and therefore, when the stadium was finished, we weren't allowed to move into it yet because we'd already declared the other one as our home stadium. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. But the point is, both Europa and also Gibraltar are now playing their home games at the Europa FC Stadium. Then Maccabi Tel Aviv. This is a big win. A 2-1 aggregate win over Maccabi Tel Aviv. Lewis Webb getting himself sent off. Speaking of which, has JG got sent off anytime recently? Not there. Wait. Has he stopped getting sent off? Dermagru missed a penalty in that one. Anyway. And then Tobil Kostanay of Kazakhstan. I feel like they had quite an easy set of fixtures. They're playing Tobil Kostanay of Kazakhstan. They're playing Jagiellonia Bialystok of Poland. And Hellas Verona, is that? Yeah, Hellas Verona of Italy. That's their Conference League group. I mean, I'd get out of that group without even sneezing. I'm going to be honest. But we'll see if they will. I know that sounds super arrogant, but, you know, tough. Lincoln were one of the other European teams, and they lost in the first round to Hibernian 2-1. So they're gone. The other was College 75, who were knocked out in the first round by Connors Key. Whoops. And the other was Man 62, who were knocked out in the first round by Sabatalo Tbilisi, who we've met before. And I seem to remember smashed. But the biggest issue I think we've got is that the AI doesn't know to install friendlies in front of these first round fixtures. And it needs to because these players aren't fit enough. And what I always did, okay, I forgot a couple of times and panicked, but put in friendlies before these qualification rounds and you will win them. But they don't, and so they don't. So that means that we're relying on Europa to get through that group stage and probably through a couple of knockout rounds just to get back to the standard that we've been at the last couple of seasons. Which seems unlikely, if we're being honest. But never mind. We are playing somebody. Europa point away, which is going to be one of the easier fixtures. But obviously a lot of these players, I mean, we've got a squad of probably 50. But I can't imagine, I haven't looked, I don't dare. The team cohesion is better than you'd think considering. But we have played, actually, a lot of friendlies. I jammed in friendlies everywhere I could fit one. We've basically not trained for the summer. Because I thought, get as many players match fit as possible, get them all to meet each other, get dynamics up, see the good players and the bad players. And you can see there was a point, a corner was turned in mid-September where we suddenly started winning games. So we don't play a big team till College game 4. If we can get 3 wins, we can fluke a draw against College and we'll beat Montcalpe as well, then we might be in good shape. If we don't start well, we might be in serious trouble. I will hover over these players as we go through. Jake Victor is the goalkeeper. And I realise it's dark blue on dark red is not the easiest colour palette to read. I'm struggling and I've got a 23-inch monitor in front of me. I can't imagine if you're watching on a phone you have a chance of seeing that, so I will read it out. The left back is Sam Hart. The centre halves are Jordan Hopper and Niall Serra. Right back is Samuel Yeo. Holding a midfielder is Harrison Heath, which I think is a borough of North London. Jack Wells Morrison, dear boy, plays attacking centre mid, sort of. Attacking centre mid. We've met Kai Redgrave, the right winger. We've got Jake Brooks. Jake Brooks, the left winger, who's actually a striker. But he's up for it, so why not? Finley Cawthorne, who's the best player at the club. And Harry Johnson, the young lad on loan from Europa. That's the side we've picked. I mean, there's a G in the reserves, by the way. Paul G. His aggression is 12, and his tackling is 9. So he probably won't get sent off quite as often. We hope. Squad numbers for the 7 players. Cabuzzetto can have backup goalkeeper 23. Jordan Hopper can have 15 as centre half. Joe Hobbs. I'm taking too much time over this. 24. Kai Redgrave, right winger, 17. Jack Wells Morrison, centre mid, Hang on, Dominic Hawkins wants 8 and it's free, so why not? Wells Morrison can have 14 and Harry Johnson can have 21. There you go. I did think about renumbering all the players as they came in, and I realised quite early on that I'm never going to keep up with that, and we'll have players in the 70s. So, I want to be impressed. Put on a show. I have faith, and I have faith, and I have faith. The one big difference I think we're going to have here is that we... Sorry, I'm clicking the stupid questions. We are coming into this fixture and this team with some reputation, which we've never done before. Like, every other move we've made, we've come in as the new boy going up to a new level. Whereas now, everyone in Gibraltar knows our name. Like, we are a big name. And so a lot of these players might be just a little bit more easily subdued if they have an issue, a little bit more confident, a little bit more listening to the team talks right from the off. Whereas before, obviously, it took a little while each time to say, yes, actually, you should be listening to me. Yes, actually, this guy does know what he's talking about. Redgrave takes on Griffiths at left back. Cawthorne is unmarked. We can get the cross in early. Drives it in low. Cawthorne, the finish, cuts it in the bottom corner, and 6 minutes in, we go 1-0 up in our first fixture. Finley Cawthorne with a beautiful finish. And he's done really well there, you have to say, to keep himself... I mean, he's left his man's Wallace, I think. And he just never gets anywhere near him. And it's a lovely finish into a near post. Tudela is probably expecting the cross to go a bit deeper. Throw it up the other end. Mikey Yome with a throw into O'Neill. Yome. Battersby back to Griffiths. Early cross in. Hopper wins it well. Rodriguez will pick it up on the edge of the area, though. Hetherington. I feel like he needs a hyphen, and he needs to be Hetherington Smythe. I feel like that's just an appropriate name for him. Battersby. Rodriguez. Hetherington to Battersby again. Slotted into Yome, who hits it. It's a lovely hit. Mikey Yome, top left corner. Beautiful finish. And it's only been, what, 1.5 minutes of being in the lead? Far from perfect, but never mind. This is what we're going to do. We are playing, by the way, I didn't mention this, exactly the same strategy as we were playing with Europa. I've changed nothing. That might be a bad decision because obviously we're not a big team anymore. But we found this strategy to be successful previously. So we'll see if it works again. Hopper to Hart. Wells Morrison to Brooks. Gets done by Wright, and here comes Rodriguez, and that's not good. That's not a promising beginning. Slot through to O'Neill, and we're 2-1 down 11 minutes in. And suddenly we're not looking so good at all. And there was a lot wrong with that football, wasn't there? Brooks just dallies for too long. The forward line aren't pushing forward enough. I'm guessing that this is going to be, again, one of those things where as the team get used to my tactic, and indeed my tic-tacs, that they will be able to make the correct moves a little quicker and a little better. But maybe I'm just being hopeful with that. But Europa Point really are one of the weaker teams in this league, so if we can't get the points off them, this is going to be bad. Cawthorne to Yo. Big ball in. Brooks is at the back stick. Oh my god, it's literally an open goal. Literally an open goal. The goalkeeper's come out and got absolutely lost, and he still managed to miss the header. Tudela plays it up the wing. Johnson heads it back, but Ronco to Higgs, to Hetherington. Smythe. Wright to Rodriguez. Heath is tracking him well and does win it off him. Well done him. Redgrave to Heath. Now we're on the counter. Over the top towards Cawthorne. He's got work to do to beat Wallace, and he beats Wallace in the end. Mugs it off him. I'd be screaming if that was my defender. Redgrave dinks it into Brooks. This time taps it in. That's a nice finish from Great Brooks. And we're back to 2 each. We are a long way away from the Stewart and McGrew era, aren't we? It's going to take us a long time to get back to that. What do we reckon? 4 years? That's a good question for the comment section. Do we reckon 4 years before we get back to the standard where we're competing with Lincoln and, dare I say it, Europa? Because at the minute I can't get close to signing a player. Like, I can think of players from the Europa reserves, players that occasionally came up to the first team and looked very poor. Keston Joseph being an example. Glyn Morrell is another one. I have tried to sign them and they won't even enter negotiations. They're like, nope, Glacis are nowhere near good enough for me. So, There are even players that like me, but refused. I'm not even going to go through the extra bit. I'm just going to say, keep it up. There are even players, players that I'm friends with who will say, no, I'm not going to play for you for Glacis. Sorry. Unlucky. We'll chuck an encourage out there. Might be the wrong decision. Oh, that was a good highlight. 65th minute. Probably time to start poking around the subs bench. Which is going to be more luck than judgment here. Harry Johnson's had a poor one up front. Julian Brinkman, what do you do for a living? You're a centre-half. It says striker next to you on it. Oh my god, he does everything. Okay. Well, you're not a striker, whatever you are. Cool, that's fine. Do we have a left winger? We have Danny Taylor, the left winger, on the bench. He's not bad. So we're going to take Johnson off, Danny Taylor on, and then put Jake Brooks up top. Sam Hart at left back's having a poor one. I mean, he's a 34-year-old that we are trying to encourage to do box-to-boxing. That might not be good. Maybe we'll give Joe Hobbs a run out there. And maybe that's it. Yeah, it's a 65th. We've got time to make the third sub. There's a lot of learning the squad that needs to happen, I'm afraid. Heath with the cross. It's a good one. It's headed away by Hetherington. Taylor will pick it up if he's quick enough. He almost wasn't. Hobbs. Chips it forward. Brooks is under it. It's gone all the way through. It's knocked back to the keeper. Looked like a penalty shout there to me. Hopper to Heath. Out wide to Taylor. Taylor taking on Ronco, which I thought was an oil brand, but never mind. Taylor back to Hobbs. Time and space. Get the ball in. He's waited too long. Rights with him, but chops in and doesn't win it. Someone put the ball in the box, please. Wells Morrison. It's cleared away. It was almost not a shot. Heath with the free kick. Chips it in. Taylor, I think, is offside. No, he's not. Oh, no, yes, he is. It got there in the end. I thought it took a while for it to tell me. I was looking at the line as the walk in and I thought Taylor's the one that I'm pretty sure is offside. But again, you look at that goalkeeper. We should have been working him a lot more than we have been. In fact, there's still time. 75th minute. Instructions. Shoot on sight. Stop playing out of defence. In fact, I thought I turned that off already. I need to fix that. I'll chuck a demand more out there. We're in a position to win this. 82nd minute. One more change. Just for some fresh legs. Let's get... Should we Hobson? Or should we Hawkins? Let's get Hawkins on. Hawkins on for Wells and Morrison. No, Hawkins on for Heath and then Wells Morrison across. Let's do that. And there's 8 to play. We've got a very strong centre midfield. One more highlight, perhaps. 87th minute. Victor to take the goal kick. Hawkins is under it. Nods it down to Redgrave. First time volley forward to Cawthorne. Is behind line. Brooks might be onside. Tucks it in the bottom corner. Will it count? Linesy seems to have run away. And we will poach it at the death. Can we hold on to that? I'm actually going to go down to cautious. I'm going to start shutting it down for that. I never do that, but, you know. Lovely volleyed second assist. Cawthorne chests it down into the path of Brooks. Tudela gets lost. We should have been working that goalkeeper a lot harder. I'd forgotten how poor the goalkeepers are at the bottom levels. Yeah, lovely little chest done by Cawthorne. Change the instructions up. I'll keep shooting on sight, but we'll regroup, hold shape, slow it down. And, whoops, drop the lines in. Stay on feet. Stand off a bit more. For the sake of 5 minutes, hardly worth the effort. But there we go. 93. 94. And there we have it. The start of the era of the Glacis is with a win. Needed that. Really needed that. No. Really needed that. What did it take you to grab victory from the jaws of defeat like that? Because we're good. I'm delighted. Brilliant. Yes, thank you. Did you enjoy winning that match? No, I hated it, mate. So that'll be that. We'll come back probably halfway through this opening set. Who have we got when? We've got Europa. I don't want to show you Europa because we're going to get slaughtered. Like, it's not even going to be funny. Possibly St. Joseph's and Lincoln. They're probably 2 defeats, but we can look at where we are in relation to the bigger boys at that point. So I'll come back for St. Joseph's and Lincoln. And then after that, we'll come back after the break. Thank you very much for watching. Do chuck in the comments your predictions for how this time is going to go with Glacis. What do you think of the signings? Pick your favourite out of our list of 30 signings. What do you think of the signings? What do you think of the team? What do you think of our chances? How long is it going to take? All of these things. How long before we become good? Do Europa get out of their group stage? Things like that. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all on Friday. I think this is the Wednesday video. Probably, maybe. See you on Friday. See what happens. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.